So hello to you, to Nami as well, and to everybody, to the news, to the
New news.
to the new stream of Monday. We have a few things to talk about. Tsunami, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome.
What's up, chat?
What's up, chat? Yes, on both channels. So, guys, we are streaming both on the Superhero channel and on the G-Hammer Empress channel. On the Superhero channel is the second monetized stream ever.
Oh.
And some of you got memberships, because Mike was a superhero himself.
Yes,
And
indeed.
he dropped
the
a few
mic.
memberships. And it was awesome. So, just amazing. Okay, Tsunami, so let's say hi to everybody in both chats.
Thing over in the Gamer Empress channel, we've got Clinton, myself, Thin Blue Line, making an appearance. He's going back to his stream, and Lady Cyan has made an appearance as well. Hello, everyone. And
Hello.
superhero, we've got Thomas. Kano's in the house, and that's all doing for right now.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. So, we are going to talk about the following topics. On the superhero side, we have two news about Supergirl's budget, as you can see right here. Then we're going to talk about what Marvel is doing with Kingpin and the inspiration for him being Donald Trump, ice, blah, bullshit, crap.
Oh my god.
It's a cringe thingy. Then we have for the gaming news, we have Crimson Desert fixing the game with patches and the AI scandal before that. And on the on the Warhammer 40k side, we have two big scandals. Basically, one is about the Steel Legion, and GW forgetting about it, and the second is it's going to be about the freaking female Xodis and their pre-orders and people
Oh boy.
talking about how they're so successful and whatever.
No.
And we're going to take a look at posts from Chainsword 40k, who is on top of things as usual. So let's get this going, guys, with the superhero news. Just let me fix a few things. I mean, I'm kind of blipping in and out in existence because green screen. And I'm gonna fix that. And puppies are being puppies right now. So, Logan,
Puppies?
puppies.
Yes.
What are they doing?
Goldie behind the green screen,
Okay.
eating the stick.
And Adi is in protest because God is eating the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Okay. Goldie under the sofa, and Daddy's protest.
All right. I'm gonna keep blipping in and out of existence because that's the only way to do it. Unfortunately, in this case. Okay. So let's move the camera a bit this way and this a bit that way. And let's talk about first of all, Supergirl, which is not gonna be super.
No, not at all.
So, as we talked about last week, Supergirl and what Millie Alcock said about the character is just another deconstruction of the character. The super is totally taken out of her as a character, as character traits. It's just the fact that she has her superpowers, but other than that, she's just a regular person who is a big mess and is a reluctant hero, meaning it's not a hero at all. It's somebody that is just a freaking mess. Like the only thing that is missing and for her to take drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of what superheroes is supposed to be. And although James Gunn loves those things and he loves to recreate superheroes in his own image and what he believes in, which is basically depravity, alcohol, and crazy sex, I don't know.
Orgies.
Orgies.
Yeah.
Despite that, this vision is not beloved by everyone. So only 50% of the audience of Man of Steel actually gave any chance to Superman just to, give it the benefit of the doubt. But that was it.
That was it.
And now we find out that the budget for Supergirl is only 100 million compared to Superman's budget, which is about 250 and something. So we're going to read the article, but yeah, basically this is more than twice less, and it does show the confidence in this vision.
Rename the movie to Super Drunk.
Yeah, Super
That's
Drunk.
what we're going to see there.
Hey, that's my nickname.
Okay. Well, you should ask for residuals then if they do that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's read it to them.
All right, from Cosmic Book News. Supergirl budget rumored to be only $100 million. A new rumor claims Supergirl may have a production budget of only $100 million. That would be far below the $200 million figure James Gunn shot down back in December when he said that report was, quote unquote, not even a little bit true.
Sure.
At the time, Gunn's response suggested the real number was notably lower than Superman's reported 225 million budget. Now the 100 million chatter fits with that lower cost idea. Supergirl budget rumor points to lower risk. If that $100 million is accurate, the usual box office math would put the rough theatrical break even point around $250 million worldwide. On paper, that gives Supergirl a much easier target than a typical DC tentpole. It also backs up the idea that DC Studios and Warner Brothers are trying to keep costs under control. That fits with previous comments from Gunn hinting the movie would not be carrying some giant blockbuster sized budget. Why a lower budget still raises questions. A smaller budget does not automatically mean a smaller problem. Supergirl is still a major DC release. It is still part of James Gunn and Peter Safran's rebooted DCU. It is still expected to help build confidence in the brand after Superman. So even if the movie only needs around $250 million to break even, that does not mean the pressure is off. This is not some throwaway side project. It is supposed to prove DC Studios can keep the momentum going. Rumored runtime adds to the talk. The budget rumor also fits with the movie's reportedly short runtime. Supergirl has been set to come in at around 1 hour and 45 minutes. That would make it a relatively short comic book movie by current standards. A lean runtime is not always a bad thing. In some cases, it can mean the movie is moving fast and not wasting time. But when you pair a shorter runtime with a lower budget, it can also create the perception that the studio is keeping the movie small. This is where some of the red flags start to come in. Instead of feeling like a major event film, it could start to look like a more controlled gamble. Red flags and pricey risk talk. Even with the reported $100 million budget, Supergirl has still been described as a pricey risk. That is because the number alone does not tell the whole story. This is still a DC movie with franchise expectations attached to it. Marketing costs will also be significant. The box office conversation will not just be about whether it makes its money back. It will be about whether it looks like a win for the new DCU. If Supergirl ends up barely clearing a modest break-even point, that may not be enough to quiet concerns. Fans and industry watchers will still judge it against the larger goal of rebuilding the DC brand. Test screening rumors haven't helped. The test screening rumors have only added more concern. Word going around online is that the screenings were not good. That has fed more talk that Supergirl may be another DC movie carrying behind the scenes warning signs ahead of release. There have also been mixed reports floating around, which makes it hard to know exactly how much weight to give any one rumor. Still, what matters is the perception. Right now, the movie does not seem to be benefiting from strong early word of mouth. Instead, the conversation keeps circling back to budget, runtime, and whether the internal reactions have been shaky. That is not the kind of buzz you want around one of the next major entries in a brand new shared universe. End article.
Okay. You know what I just figured out?
Yeah.
I mean, Superman, sorry. Supergirl has sunglasses here.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, ridiculous.
It's because she's drunk.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's ridiculous. First, because she's
ridiculous.
drunk, but second, and most importantly, it is ridiculous because that is a creature that absorbs sunlight to heal, be
Yeah.
strong, and live. And she will put something to protect her from it? Are you kidding me?
Well,
Well, unless she's on the red sun, then okay, fine. Who cares?
isn't she drunk? Oh, she's drunk on the red sometimes.
If she's with the glasses, in the red sun universe, then fine. But otherwise, it's ridiculous.
If she can get drunk on the red sun planets, then why doesn't she heal from the hangover when she's on Earth?
Yeah, she should be healed like immediately.
Anyway,
When
yeah.
she enters just a normal sun universe.
The whole outfit looks ridiculous anyway, with the trench coat and the headphones and the things like that. You can't even see the cape, and we talked about the cape last night. So I think that says quite enough that you can't see the cape of this quote unquote hero.
Yeah, because she doesn't actually deserve that in that
But really,
form.
what we say here on the article, really, it does feel like a throwaway movie, kind of.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
here is this. I have quota to make. James
Yeah,
Gunn
yeah,
said, and he just did this. Yeah,
yeah. It looks like here it's from a different director, but it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. So just we are throwing this over here. We're calling it Super Ghetto. Oh, here is Jason Momoa. There, remember that guy? You know, from the Snyderverse. He plays another character now. So here we give you something. It really doesn't feel like a tempo movie or something, and it's Super Ghetto.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be pretty big. I mean, this is the first Supergirl movie since what, 30 years?
It,
30 more, actually, more
if
than
not
30.
even more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the blatant disrespect is on display, and of course, budget and everything. If this was any other DC movie from the Zack Snyder DC movies, this will have a higher budget, would be a lot more spectacular in terms of grandiose and scale. Now this is going to be very small. We already seen the trailer, so we know how it is. There's of course another conversation when it comes to Hollywood because they do have very bloated budgets sometimes for no apparent reason. I mean, they always think of reasons, but the point is that all movies can be made with much less money in general. In general, I remember when Terminator 3 came out. Actually, I remember that for some reason, because they said that the movie had the great and staggeringly shocking budget of 80 million or something. I'm like, really? I mean, by today's standards,
Godzilla minus one had a $15 million budget. Godzilla minus one.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, but that's crazy. That's like the budget of a horror movie.
Yeah, and
in America.
we see Godzilla almost all the time. I'm beginning to think so. If the budget here is so low, we're not going to see much superpowers, are we?
The point is how they manage the budget. So they don't manage it very well. If a movie like Godzilla minus one could be made with so little money and you still have Godzilla and it's huge and it's big and it's going through the city and all destruction is going on, why can't you then have a movie that has like only 15% of that destruction? Other things are going on, obviously, but it's not that much. I mean, she's gonna be like walking around the whole time.
In a trench coat.
Yeah, she's gonna be walking around the whole time, and sometimes she's gonna be fighting. But like fighting, a lot of the time that's not gonna include superpowers. Probably at least the beginning because she will not have any powers or a little bit of powers.
Or just a little bit. This will be one of those things that I hate when you. They've done this in Wonder Woman too, by the way. When you don't give the character his full powers because of something.
Yeah.
In that case, oh, we are on a red sun planet, or I was too long on a planet with red sun, so I don't have my full powers now.
Yeah.
And we are not going to see the character. Then it was just like with Wonder Woman in 1984 when. And she lost her powers, or a quarter of her powers because what was it? Barbara got her powers, and I say, well, I can't see Wonder Woman now. She's not fully visualized. Then it's a character with no powers. Then I hate when they do that with characters.
You know, that could be a really interesting concept only if this was a TV show and
Only
there's one
like Hercules,
episode
yeah.
like Hercules where he loses his powers because he was tricked by Ares. I mean, this is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
The whole thing, very dramatic, very tragic story. And in the end, he comes through and he restores. And in the moment that he restores his powers by Zeus, that was one of the most amazing things to see. So it could totally work in a TV show if it's done right, if the story is compelling. But when you do that in a movie, it's like, why?
No.
I'm not here for that. You know?
It's almost like, as if you give me a movie about Green Lantern and he has no ring.
Yeah. Okay, Tsunami, what do you think about this?
No, I mean, I agree with you guys. It's so weird. Like, for one thing, why don't you just change clothes if you don't want to wear that outfit or be seen wearing that outfit? So, it's first thing. It's so dumb, this trench coat thing, the sunglasses, the pretend hangover. Why would she be hungover? Like, she heals instantly. If she wanted to change an outfit, she could do it in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So, them adding this in there is just him trying to be edgy again and letting everyone know she's not going to be traditional. Like, shut the fuck up, James Gunn. You're such an idiot. So, there's that already. Speaking of the budget alone, I mean, that's a pretty low budget for a superhero film. So I think that says a lot more in faith in what Gunn's already produced. And moving forwards, I could see people are pretty leery of what he's done so far. So I don't know. I have absolutely no hype whatsoever for this movie. I think it's going to be absolutely just horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
after I saw the trailer and how much it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy, my hype is, really
Not anywhere.
ground zero.
Yeah.
Ground zero indeed.
Not anywhere.
Why must be this story where she's drunk? Why this comic book of all the stories with Supergirl? Why this one? Which was
Yeah, that's the whole
total
point.
deconstruction.
Why
That
would you use this as her introduction?
Yeah, exactly. Why
yeah.
would you do that? Also, let's not forget, speaking about low budget things that apparently James Gunn likes, let's not forget that he's the person who, because of whom they actually released in cinema Blue Beetle, which was supposed to be a HBO movie. It was streaming only movie supposedly. When James Gunn came into play and he said, "Oh, I actually like that movie and it's a great movie and things like that," and they released it in cinema and we watched it, and I was bored to death.
No, that's actually one of the worst things I ever watched. It was horrible.
Jesus Christ, yeah, and Batman was a fascist apparently, according to some people
No,
in the
no,
movie.
that
Jesus
is
Christ.
just
Yeah, so apparently he likes things like that. I don't know, just
so the point that we are all making about Supergirl from the very beginning is that first of all, this story is very new. It's a deconstruction of the character.
yeah.
But on the point of being very new, nobody cares about the story. That's the thing. That's not Supergirl. Never was Supergirl. That is a part of the new trend, of the new wave of destroying superheroes.
Yeah.
So she's not supposed to be depressed. This is not supposed to be coming on screen. This is not what you do to start to bring the character to life once again that have not been around for more than 30 something years on the big screen. You bring such a character iconic as Supergirl by showing who she is, how good she is as a person, not being a drunk, not being depressed, being the hero that she is, being the capable hero, all on her own, not depending on Superman or whatever. She's her own hero. She has her own character traits that are unique to her. All of that makes Supergirl Kara Zor-El.
Yeah.
That is most important to be brought on screen, and not the construction of the hero being drunk, being low in life, being depressed. Whatever that she's doing here is not supposed to be on screen.
Again, I'll say it again and before. Why people like live action One Piece? Because the freaking characters are who they're supposed to be. That's the characterization is there. You look at Luffy and you say, well, that's him. He behaves like that. That's who he is. This inspiration of he might be goofy, but when the push comes to shove, he shows why he actually deserves to be the greatest pirate ever. You see why Zoro deserves to be the greatest swordsman ever after Inigo Montoya. But probably. And you look at those and you say, well, those are the characters. They're made the way they should be. I don't want to see depressed Luffy or things like that. Just to make him more human. These superheroes, these characters are not supposed to be that.
They're not
I
human.
don't care that her world was destroyed and she had to raise her cousin and she's all depressed. Why though? Why wasn't she like that before?
Yeah,
If that's the case.
Where's the original Supergirl stories? Why don't we respect them?
Yeah.
So
those are characters who grow more of those things. Yeah, the world her world is destroyed. By that logic, Superman also has to get drunk, and he say, "Well, Kara, our world is now destroyed, so
let's cry about it.
Let's cry about it. Let's not be heroes." Oh, she had to raise her cousin. Of course, she had to. But and that's how those characters understand things. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, but they rise above all of that. All of those things that happen to them, and they show us how you should behave in these situations. Not behave like a normal person who has no resolve, has no willpower, and is susceptible to be drawn. To be drowning in their emotions. They are not supposed to be like that. If they were just be regular people, and we shouldn't look up to them. There will not be any examples.
Why would we say that's relatable? Hell, I don't drink, it's not relatable to me.
Yeah.
And even when I got depression and think, because I have some from time to time, again, it's not relatable to me. It doesn't inspire me to actually rise above the depression. I want to turn on the TV or the cinema, see that character and say, F yeah, I'm going to do it just like that character. And not going to be, oh, she's depressed too. Well, I'm depressed too. Respect me. Then let's all be depressed now together.
Yeah.
Hell no, I don't want to see that from those characters.
That's freaking weak
That's
mindset.
not the idea.
Yeah. I mean, depression is one of the worst things that anybody can go through. You should stay away from that and try to build yourself in your character, because everybody goes through something in life. And superheroes are supposed to be the ideal to strive towards, not see them, being beaten down the first 2 seconds of a movie, like it was with Superman, like it was in the trailer of Superman.
Yeah.
All of those things, they are not the human parts of the superhero that we should see. Superheroes go through other hardships that are absolutely relatable to their own stories and universe that they are put in. The circumstances and what they have to go through, what they have to fight, is only scalable to what they are, and it's not scalable only to us. It depends it depends, when we're talking about Spider-Man, it's different, of course, but it's still something that is on a different level. They are superheroes, they are not human beings. And the human part that we should see in superheroes is only the highest possible human qualities that we should strive towards, not the lowest. So that's the misunderstanding that nobody really gets when they listen to the modern representation of superheroes that lack anything that's actually super. That's the thing that you have to understand, guys, that superheroes have the best possible qualities for us to look up to. And even though they go through hardships, it's different, it's on a different scale, and they're not supposed to be relatable in that way that we are people with flaws. They're supposed to be relatable in a way that, yes, we are people with flaws, but here is this superhero who actually can do a lot, not only because superpowers, no, it's because they have the qualities to have these powers. They have the good qualities to not get full of themselves and try to use them for those powers for evil. They are so pure and so strong in their will and their resolve and their vision of morality that they are truly a compass, a paragon of truth and justice. And that is what we have to strive towards. That's the best human qualities that we all have to build in ourselves, and not go to that depression, or go to that, well, I have excuses in my life and this excuse. No. I have to build to be better, no matter what you're going through. We all went through horrible things in our lives, and some of them cannot be even spoken about because they're so bad. And some people find a way to still be better, still be an example for others, learn from this and grow from this and all of that. But again, guys, the point of all of this is that James Gunn went to deconstruct the heroes instead of going to bring those heroes to life how they were supposed to be on screen. That is his greatest sin. He didn't show them to be strong. He showed them to be weak. He didn't show them to be truly heroic. He showed them to be heroic from time to time, but just because
they have to. Something happened.
Yeah, something. He doesn't understand the core values and morals of being just a person who actually is qualified to be a superhero. He doesn't get that. He doesn't get that with Superman. He doesn't get that with anybody because he always changes every character that he works on. He never brings those characters to life how they are in the comic books. And how they are in the comic books, there's, of course, like different writers writing characters, but there's a fundamental truth about all of them. There's something that unites an image of a superhero, and that's connected to their character traits, their strength, how everybody views them, and then it's connected to their power set. So we do have defaults that when movie directors get a movie, they can follow and they can bring that on screen. Despite having so many different comic books, there's many comic books that are not canon. James Gunn said that this and that is canon, like the Hypno glasses is canon. That was never canon. He said factually incorrect things. And he keeps on doing that. He keeps on changing his vision, his plan, and he doesn't know where he is going exactly. So that everything from the very beginning with James Gunn and how he thinks about superhero has been an issue. He stated directly that he doesn't understand Superman. That Superman is lame. He said that Batman is what, stupid was it?
Boring.
Boring. Yes, boring. He always was like that, and then he's not a passionate guy that loves superheroes. And then he was put into this role of leading DC. That's not how you do it.
A good example of a relatable person in real life who actually did something great, and I was very impressed. The Tascawa, the guy who plays Sanji in One Piece.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
he was fat. He did the work. He's shredded now. Kind of, right?
Yeah.
He did all of his things all by himself, all the fighting with the legs and everything like that. It was very, very, very impressive. Also, I heard today in the morning that he refused to make any political comments in interviews, although people are pressing him to do it. And he said, no, I'm not going to say any preferences. I don't know. He might be lefty. Who knows? He ain't saying it. He's doing his job. You know, that's really, really inspirational. Actually, I said, despite the pressure, you're not saying, you know that you have to do your job. You did it. It was very inspirational, really, when I saw that video of him, and with the music, how he was falling down and then
getting hurt a lot.
And that's it. That's what it's there. That's what you say. Yeah, we can do that. Here it is possible.
Yeah, he went.
No excuses like no. And they told me, well, you know, Tas, you can stay fat. We'll do fat Sanji for you. How is that? And we'll take 10,000 Thunderbolts and things. No, he did it. He did the job. That no excuses. No excuse, but you know, I had to do this diet. I had to do that. I was depressed all the time. No,
nothing like that.
Maybe he was, right?
I mean, this role changed his life.
Exactly.
It changed the way that he goes about himself. He just, you have to watch that video. He stumbled and fought and hurt himself so many times until he actually learned those kicks, and to do them like right off the bat, like on a snap fingers. You do this, you take the dishes and you do that move with the dishes. The dishes should not fall. He was not like that at all. He wasn't the athletic guy. He was the total opposite, but he completely changed like 180 for this role.
Absolutely.
Because he had a reason, and the reason was changing his freaking life, and he did it. So.
Indeed.
And we are all better for it, because now we can enjoy an actor that deserves to play this role, that actually changed for the role. He became the character, and not how currently they're doing things. They're changing those roles for the actor. Like, what the fuck? Guys, I'm sorry about my expression, but this has been happening for the past 10 years. They're changing the character so it can fit the actor. What are you doing? Like, the character is more important than the actor. The character is gonna live forever. The character is a particular vision that came to life because some author thought about it, and now people are passionate about this character. And you take in some actor that's supposed to honor that, and you're licking their asses instead of bringing to life the vision that is art incarnate. The job of an actor is to bring that vision to life, not the opposite. That's another topic. We talked about this many times, but it just connected to the whole bullshit that we're dealing with, and that is keeping the integrity of the character and how they are portrayed on the screen, like, intact, to bring that those characters, the stories, like, in the correct manner. That's it. Essence. They have an essence that has to be understood first by the creators who are tasked with this vision to bring it to the screen. It's so important. It's so important for generations of people, like we talked about actually yesterday in our stream about the capes. Yeah, there was this guy, Michael Uslan, who was just a little boy, and he loved Batman so much that he did he changed the world by creating a serious superhero depiction of Batman, changing his previous image to the goofy one. And then the whole Hollywood saw this, and they changed everything. And now we have serious superhero movies. And at the beginning, they really tried to bring superheroes to life. They know a lot more, to stay at least more to their character traits. And now, fast forward so many years in the future, we're trying to do the same. We're trying to destroy the heroes. We try to show them in the worst light possible, just because some very, very not well, how to say this?
Mentally.
Not
very well mentally person.
not very well mentally stable people that probably went through some shit in their lives, but they couldn't build themselves up. They couldn't do that, unfortunately. And now we try to excuse how they are at the moment that they couldn't do that. So
Yeah.
we will totally take down our superheroes so they can feel better. You know, that's pretty much bullying. Bullying of the
That's what
superheroes.
it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
bullying the beloved heroes. And they're so into their own misery that they actually want this to happen so they can feel better about themselves. Well, people who bully others, they're exactly like that. They're usually very low in their mindset and in their whole spirituality and basically their emotional maturity. And the only way for them to feel better is to bring everybody down.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's the only
down.
thing that
Because
can
they
do.
see, when they see somebody that is better than them in some kind of way, shape, or form, instead of being inspired by them and be like, hey, I really admire how you actually, you know, you build yourself up and you became better. Uh, so I really admire that. No, they try to bring you down. They try to beat you up at school, or they try to be mean to you all the time. This is a reaction that is just very common and is not something that we should promote. And having those depictions of superheroes on screen, it promotes just that weak mindset, emotional maturity
Indeed.
that's like so low. And there's no individuality of oneself if you promote
Yeah.
such visions. Individuality of oneself is one of the most important things that a superhero has, because every superhero has a different origin story that made them who they are.
Yeah.
And being beat up and drinking is not what Supergirl is. She rose to the occasion of
Indeed.
helping Kal-El into this world, and she
Yeah.
became her own hero, and they complemented each other, and it was beautiful.
Exactly.
That's it.
Just watch how she appears in the Superman the animated series. Show that's a great superhero there who actually wanted to help from the beginning. You know. Yeah,
Yes.
she saw her planet being destroyed, and yeah, she remembers that. And what with? She came on Earth. She said, "Oh, Quark, I want to do what you do."
Mm.
You know, and here we go.
Okay, we really gotta stop
Yeah,
rambling
and
about this
we,
topic. It's
but
just something that's
yeah,
connected to other things that are very important,
a
and
lot,
they
a
have
lot.
to be said, because
Indeed,
this
indeed.
freaking weak shit is going too far.
This weak-minded thing. Oh, it's relatable. Make them relatable. Why? Just because you're weak-minded? Well, be relatable to them. Why?
No, it's
The way that
relatable to
you,
be
it's
strong.
relatable to be
It,
strong. Exactly.
to
You know.
build yourself. That's relatable. It's
Yeah.
like I mean, this whole word relatable is so wrong. It's so wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like with the
Yeah.
human part. It's just the
Yeah.
same issue.
Mm-hmm.
You think that human to be human is only weak? Is
Yeah.
that it? What?
Apparently, if you want someone caressing you, you know, with a feather, telling you, "Oh, yeah, it's okay the way you just go to a therapist or something." They usually do that.
That's why the current generation of kids is so stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they're always like, their parents don't dare say anything to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Their parents
Yeah.
don't dare
I see
like
that
slap
all day.
them
Yeah.
or anything like that. Not saying that
Oh,
that's like the best thing ever, but
he's so sensitive.
no
Be careful what you
criticism.
say. You know. Well, don't you have to tell them something? You know, be careful. They're so sensitive. Why? Why though?
Why though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You gotta
Next
be
topic.
truthful. Like the truth is the most important thing in this world.
Mm.
Be truthful and genuine, and it doesn't matter that you're gonna hurt the person. There's a tact to it that you can say something, but
Yeah.
you gotta be truthful, because lies are poisoning everything about oneself and each and every one of us. So
Exactly.
truth is the most important thing in the world. Tsunami, I'm sorry for that rant. We got very passionate about it.
Yeah.
If you have anything to add, please do it. Then we're going to continue to the next topic.
No. Good.
All right.
He's good.
I was like, you guys lost me in the middle. I was like, where are they going with this now? No, it's all good.
All right. Well, I know that you can get us though. So, Trunks, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
Trunks.
the membership sent. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonder Woman salute. Okay, guys, so let's know what you think about this in the comments. Again, it's just a part of a greater conversation that nobody even thinks about, and we're superhero truth.
But it will connect with the next topic. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, next, guys.
Ooh.
So, Marvel
Speaking of dumb shit,
What?
Speaking of dumb shit, then let's segue into this topic. This is insane.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Marvel admits Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is more Trump ice political commentary. Tsunami, please read this.
Oh my god. From Geeks and Gamers. If you thought Daredevil Born Again might stay grounded like the original Netflix series, think again. Marvel has now openly confirmed that Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is pulling direct inspiration from President Donald Trump and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE, pushing the Disney Plus series firmly into modern political territory. Again. What some fans initially dismissed as speculation is now being acknowledged by Marvel itself and raises serious questions about what the show is actually trying to be. Marvel admits the truth and nice influence. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, showrunner Dario Scardapane and executive producer Sana Amanat made it clear the parallels fans are seeing are not accidental. Daredevil is now about Trump. According to Scardapane, the series evolved into something that reflects real world politics during production, describing it as an art imitates life situation. In other words, this direction is intentional. Season 2 follows Wilson Fisk as mayor of New York, where he unleashes an anti vigilante task force that reportedly operates in ways very similar to ICE, conducting raids, detaining individuals, and removing people from the streets. And Marvel isn't being subtle about it. The show reportedly features black clad agents, unmarked vans, and detention style environments that mirror imagery audiences have seen in real world political debates over the past several years. This isn't metaphor buried under layers of storytelling, this is front and center messaging. From Daredevil to political commentary. This Trump shift is a major departure from what made Daredevil popular in the first place. The Netflix version of the character worked because it stayed focused on grounded storytelling crime, morality, corruption, and personal struggle. It didn't need to beat the audience over the head with real world politics to be compelling.
Yeah.
Now, Marvel appears to be taking a very different approach. Instead of letting the story stand on its own, Season 2 is being framed as a broader resistance narrative against an authoritarian system. That may appeal to some viewers, but it's exactly the kind of heavy handed messaging that has turned many fans away from modern Marvel projects. History repeats itself, or just Hollywood again. Scartapane also pointed to historical figures like Nero, Pinochet, and Franco when discussing the themes of the show, suggesting that the story is drawing from patterns seen throughout history. That may sound ambitious on paper, but it also highlights a growing trend in Hollywood, taking established characters and reshaping them into vehicles for modern political messaging. And fans have seen how that's played out before. Whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, or other major franchises, the results have been mixed at best, and often divisive. Will this actually bring fans back? That's the real question. Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again didn't exactly dominate the cultural conversation the way Marvel likely hoped. And now, instead of course correcting, the studio is doubling down on a direction that leans even harder into real world politics. Maybe Marvel believes this will resonate with audience, or maybe they're just doing what Hollywood keeps doing, prioritizing message over storytelling and hoping fans stick around anyway. Either way, the message is clear. This isn't just a Daredevil story anymore, it's a Trump story. Again. The end.
I can't believe it.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, the first season was bad enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
only the first episode I really liked, like the first
It
introduction.
was kind
It
of
felt like
kind of okay,
Daredevil.
yeah.
After that, everything just,
Yeah, it was
disappeared.
boring. Yeah, everything disappeared.
It was Daredevil boring again.
Boring again, yeah, exactly. I mean, he barely put the suit, yeah.
Yeah, we were just waiting, like, what's the time?
Yeah.
Daredevil suit. Where is that?
Where is that?
I want to see the freaking suit, man.
And then now he's wearing the black suit, which actually he wears in comic books when he's possessed by a demon and he's evil.
Oh, great.
Why is he wearing the black suit? Anyway, yeah.
It's a mess. They're just taking stuff. It's like, turning the page and like, ooh, a suit.
Oh, he wore a black suit at one point. Oh, yeah.
He hit the guy in the face with the fork. Okay, next,
Yeah,
and they just put it there without the context that made it there in the first place. Like nothing, but
I mean,
okay.
That's again what we talked about before. It's and it was in the article, getting those characters, reshaping them to be vehicles of modern stupid stuff.
Yeah,
that's it. We don't have those characters because
no.
Yeah, in comic books, Wilson Fisk was mayor for the short time. So does Lex Luthor was a president too, by the way, in DC. there was no allegories and things like that. It was just a thing, and it wasn't a big thing in a comic book. They didn't show you panels of how he's doing political schemes in his office and things. So you just know, okay, he's the mayor. Daredevil has to now will have more problems. But again, it was about Daredevil. Again, it was about the fighting on the street and everything that we love about the character. It was never just the political things. How is this going to bring people back? This no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What does that? How is this going to bring people back? This art imitating real life. I don't want to see that in my shows. I want to see the characters, not real life.
No, that is
I
disgusting.
didn't sign up for this, as we say. That's totally disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just okay. King of Monsters.
King of Monsters. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Woo! Let's fucking go. Yes. Second super chat for the channel. Thank you for the
Absolutely.
superhero
For the
channel. and
superhero
it's
channel.
absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Another salute. This is a bit tight, so I can't do a lot of things. But yeah.
Well, still,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh,
Amazing,
okay, I'm gonna do
amazing.
this
You
because
can do
second
that,
salute.
yes.
I can do this.
That's tight enough to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, here is a superhero physique all year round,
Indeed.
literally,
Indeed.
for 13 years straight.
With no excuses.
Yeah, I don't need to have a role to sustain that. I'm not getting into shape, particularly for something. I'm just
Well,
in shape.
Don't you want to be like Carlos Olev and start drinking? No.
No, what?
Because she
That
said
drinking? Oh,
she
no.
said it's okay to be messy.
no, I can only relate to
Uh,
people that are in shape and lift
right.
weights. Yeah.
So we are not seeing Kingpin in that show, I guess.
No,
And it's specifically sad after the great Netflix Daredevil show when we actually had Daredevil, when we actually had Kingpin, portrayed the way they should, and now we are not seeing this.
well, I just want to say because King of Monsters said that Daredevil Born Again is leagues better than Monarch. That may be the case. That may be the case, but that maybe says more about Monarch than Daredevil because again, it's not what it used to be, and they still ruined it, unfortunately. I am excited to see Jessica Jones, but now when I hear this, I'm super concerned because I don't want to be lectured.
How are you planning to do the lectures and
That's
to see
exactly.
her, yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
How you
I just
plan
want to hear what Tsunami has
Yeah,
to say
go,
about
Tsunami.
this. Please go.
I think it's retarded, of course. Like, what are you doing? So I really tried to give Netflix or Disney a shot with the show. It was so painful to watch Born Again on Disney after the absolute triumph that Netflix had. I'm giving Netflix credit here. Netflix Daredevil was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Totally fucking ground level, street level fucking crime fighting. Really believable people that are struggling. If you talking about the previous topic, he's not really like superhero, but I mean he's got powers and everything else. But he goes through struggles throughout the whole show. Fisk, they gave him a believable backstory. It makes the character make more sense. This is it was fantastic writing, and I absolutely loved all 3 seasons of Daredevil. To be honest, I thought they did a great job with it. And then to go over and see on Disney Plus, Matt Murdock bangs She-Hulk and he's doing the walk of shame the next day. Like, what the fuck am I watching?
With the
This
yellow
is so
suit. Don't
fucking
forget the
stupid.
yellow suit. Yeah.
Oh my god. And now they're leaning into this crap. Maggie Gyllenhaal just she couldn't stop running her mouth. She just came out with this movie called The Bride.
Yeah.
And they did this interview with her where she's like, the day Donald Trump came down those escalators is the first day I became a director. How's that fucking going for you, Maggie Gyllenhaal? Because The Bride bombed, and that's exactly what's going to end up happening with this shit too. The worst part about this is we've seen the hand in the Spider-Man previews. Now I'm really nervous that this whatever crap's going to go on Disney is going to bleed over into the movie, which is now just taking away hype from another project. So it's not just one. Now there's a new casualty from this kind of nonsense. And these people can't shut up. It's so funny that they can't understand that this person, the TDS that they have, you talk about him all the time. Couldn't you just ignore him? Like, what are you doing? So in the end, they consistently continue to put Trump as the forefront of everything that's going on here. And they can't stop themselves from just trying to incorporate whatever's going on in their world into these worlds. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know what's going on here. It's like people that make movies and TV now are opposed to making money because that's all that's going to end up happening. And this is just furthering the speed of the demise of Hollywood.
Absolutely, that show won't be watched by anyone, except maybe other sick people like them who just want to see their fantasy about evil Trump came true. Probably, maybe even they won't watch it. I don't know.
How can you compare Donald Trump, who's actually trying to clean up the previous messes that were piling up for years, and to help people not be afraid to walk down their own streets, for girls and kids to not be afraid to live there? How can you oppose that? Well, because they don't see the danger. They don't understand. They deny what is happening, like how many people have to be killed and all of those things that they cannot mention before they realize that, yeah, some immigrants are bad and they're illegal and they're coming into the country to actually exploit the country and commit crime. Like, that's not far-fetched. That's always happens.
At all, yeah.
Like that. That's something that is more prevalent than anything else, really. I mean, it's rarer for good people sometimes to immigrate to a country because they really want to contribute and work, than a bunch of criminals to just pile up,
and to take over.
Yeah, because they're looking for the easy wins and they're looking to do their evil things. So, I mean, I'm just a bit even more annoyed, if that's even possible, because there was this video of Lucy Lawless the other day on Facebook on St. Patrick's Day, and she was saying like, "Hey, St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day." Okay, that's great. But then she said, "Oh, and all of those, innocent people that are suffering because some scumbags are doing this," and like, Lucy, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're a crazy leftist, and I'm so sorry that you had to become that. After playing one of the greatest freaking female heroes that suffered so much right away, to become strong and not licking the asses of particular people that want to hurt others.
This actually again shows that those people who write shows and movies today can't think of anything original, and they keep pushing those things inside the movies, things that they see that allegedly they hate and stuff like that, but they can't do nothing original. They
There's
can't create
already a script
characters.
written.
Yeah.
The script is already written. There's like tons, just decades of lore that they could pull into, but they can't stop themselves from this. Like, if you don't like Donald Trump and you're a fucking leftist or a Democrat, whatever, I don't care. Fine, you can not like him. Great, I do. That's my personal opinion. Can we not make this show about that? This is supposed to be about fucking comic books. The script is already written. If you want to change things here or there, because comics do get a little goofy sometimes, sure, that's great. But like, completely changing the narrative around so that it reflects what's going on, like, people are talking shit about AI. This is where AI is going to go ahead and start taking people's jobs real fucking quick, because this is leading nowhere except fucking the loss of money.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah,
unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time.
Let's go to
so we have to cut this topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, disgusting. So please, people, please, guys, let us know what you think about this. King of Monsters, I see your comments there. But we can't do anything about it at the moment. We still have Crimson Desert to go through and Warhammer 40k, and it's a lot. So yeah, we are going to watch it. We're going to see if anything about it is good, so we can talk about it. And again, I really want to see Jessica Jones, but if that's like some kind of a lecture about her being a woman, or if I hear anything about that, I'm gonna flip out by this point. It's horrible.
It will be that.
Okay, so guys, we are now going into gaming news. So Crimson Desert has a new patch that released today, and it should fix a lot of stuff. We're going to basically take a look at this. Actually, this is, it says what it fixed. We're gonna read a little bit about what it's fixed. But the game so far has sold like for 2 hours, I think, 2 million copies. So basically, by this point, probably sold more. We don't know yet. I played the game for the past few streams, so I played maybe 7 hours of the game. I'm not sure. You have to count, the hours of the stream. I really, really like the game. I really love it. Actually, it gives me this cozy feeling. How Tainted Grail gave me like Kingdoms of Amalur. I mean, it's a different game, but it gives me this where I I want to take my time and explore. I want to take my time and learn. So it's not like I'm annoyed or this or that. There was one quest that even Endymion talked about it yesterday about the sacks. You're bringing sacks here and there, and it's difficult to get. It was confusing. Of course, I got it at the end and did it, but there's literally like videos about it. It's so difficult for some people to figure
Bringing
out.
sacks, yeah.
Bring those freaking sacks. That was a bit mundane and annoying. Such things in games that are RPG, I don't like when you have to do things in such a detail, like in real life, that kind of defeats the purpose of having fun and playing the game in the first place. That's why I don't like the KCD things where you have to take this pot and pick up this bottle and do this, and like again real time stuff, and you wait for the pot to boil. I'm like, what are we doing? I just can't. Nobody complains about that in KCD, maybe because they like this type of game mechanics in this type of a game. But in the case where you have this epic setting, big open world, like the biggest open world probably that we ever had, with so many things to look forward to, like dragons and freaking mechs and whatever that we never had before in such a combination. And you're moving sacks. No, just no. They gotta know that some things shouldn't be there and they should be minimal.
Yes.
Only they should only serve a purpose for some kind of a game mechanic that matters, but just make it make sense. That's what I
Bring
need.
on the dragons and mechs, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tsunami, please tell me first what you think about the game so far.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really like it. I understand that like a lot of people get annoyed with like side quest stuff. I just think it makes it kind of like interesting because it's constantly changing like what you're doing in the game. The sack thing was pretty annoying. I've watched 3 creators literally struggle for quite a chunk of time on that. And there's other problems with the game that I've seen. Some people have experienced a lot of bugs and everything else like that, and that's true. All of that's true. Uh, but it's almost like games journalists they're looking for any fucking reason to complain about this game right now. They want it to fail, and it's just doing like really well on its own. And the fact that we're about to read patch notes from a game that launched like I don't know, like 5 days ago, and they're already like listening to player feedback. I think this is a great step for a company.
Actually, 3
And
days ago.
Yeah.
It's the 23rd now. It launched on the 20th. So
Yeah.
3 days
so
ago.
3 days, yeah.
Even less than.
so that's literally like them staring at the comments and trying to address a lot of the problems that people are having. So I think it's really a good sign for the company and a great sign for the game overall. I fully intend on like dumping like 100+ hours at a minimum into this game. I'm having that much fun with it. So there's problems, sure, and it's something that I'm working through. But I think that you pass a point in time in the game where you get used to the controls a little bit, and you're kind of like, all right, there's a problem here or there, but you start to really have that giant world, open world sandbox sense of adventure, and people are really getting into it. And it's not just me that I notice it with. The more people that I end up watching play this game, I watch them and then they get hooked, and then they're like, I want to play more, I want to do more, I want to do more. And I think that's really a very unique thing to be happening nowadays. Get a lot of slop nowadays, or whatever. That sense of wonder and awe is like pretty cool.
Yeah. And I also want to bring out Tainted Grail, guys. Because Tainted Grail, when the game launched, was a bit of a bare bones. There's some things that were not finished, not even close in the whole game. You can still be able to finish the whole game, but the point is, there's some water that it's running weird. There's some quests that were strange and buggy. There are many things that are like, wow, that's actually not finished. Like you go a certain place, you see the rocks are barely there. They're just like copy and paste. Uh, it looked just like you're in the engine, but not in the game. And that game is one of the best games that I've played in recent years. Still, in comparison to Crimson Desert, is like only 10% maybe in scale. But it's the RPG magic that it had. It's the whole story was compelling actually and interesting, despite the fact that I can't pay that much of attention to it when I'm playing live. But the point is that it gave me that feeling that I desperately needed, like I got from Skyrim or Kingdoms of Amalur before, and now I'm getting the same here. But it's just in this much greater scale. So the fact that this game makes me feel this way, it means that it has a soul, you know? It is a crafted piece of art that contains many things and many moving pieces. So, of course, that is understandable that this game can have some bugs. I encountered only one bug. Basically, I couldn't switch between Cliff and this girl. And I just had to go to a title screen and go back into the game, and I was able to switch very quickly. So minor things like that, and my horse clipping in a tree, which was hilarious. That's not a problem. So far, the game runs natively on my old video card. So I'm personally happy, and with the PC controls could be better, but I'm used to them, and I'm okay. I played other games that I was not that okay with the controls, and here I'm actually better. I'm doing better. So they're gonna fix the controls now, and things are gonna be better. Hopefully, I mean a lot more smoother, and they cut the time that it takes to cut a tree and stuff like that. So let's read some of these, starting from quests. Tsunami.
All right. Crimson Desert patch notes version 1 point whatever the hell. Quests. Fixed an issue in the Chapter 2 quest reunion where the cat would sometimes stop leading the way. Improved Chapter 4 quest Mysterious Pot by making the symbol stop briefly when it reaches the correct position while repairing the ancient generator. Fixed an issue in Ternali's request where the quest would not complete if a Becker shield that had already been refined was refined again. Improved the notification to appear when crime status prohibit the quest from progressing. Content. Added more Abyss Nexuses across the content of Pywell to improve fast travel via teleportation. Added the private storage that can be used to store items for your inventory. The private storage is located at the initial temporary lodgings in Hernand and at the Howling Hill camp. Reduce the time required to acquire knowledge. Change skill observation to be only required once to learn before being able to use it. Adjusted when Force Palm is learned to allow players to use it much earlier in the game. Reduce the number of hits required to log trees. Change logging so that trees are chopped with basic swings without aiming first. Decrease the quality to life or QT of a quick time event difficulty in the arm wrestling minigame, and when pinned by an opponent. Mount. Improve the visibility of items that can provide knowledge by adding icons and tooltips that show the total number of knowledge acquired.
Okay. I think that's enough because it's very long.
Sure, yeah,
and it's a
lot.
torture to read. So guys, you can check this article. You can go to Steam and read all the fixes that are currently done. More are coming, and hopefully
Fact
people.
is that is happening. Yes.
Fact that is happening. That's the most
Tsunami
important
said
point.
3 days after the game launch. So these are people who actually listen. This to me, this studio to me is like Paramount with the Sonic movie back in the days. They're actually listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then let us know what you think, guys, in the comments. Yeah, I see your comment, John Scott, about making the boss fights easier. It's like, some part. Yeah, some part of the audience will say, this is not fair, make it make sense, and the others say, no,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be easy. You can always make it difficult if you just don't have enough health. So the game creates this possibility where you can stack on health, make it easier, or stack on less health and make it harder. So actually you have this control still within you, and the game is made in such a way that the difficulty is not that limited just by the fact that you have more heals that you would have in a game, let's say, like Wukong, where you have to upgrade all your flask numbers, and you have a limited number. But here you can just keep on healing if you have different items and food and whatever. So that alone makes the game very customizable in terms of the difficulty.
Mhm.
It's very different how other games approach these types of things. So that's worth the note. I know that everybody will have different preferences, but Crimson Desert has so many different interesting ideas of how they go about things that it's not exactly the same as comparing it to other games like Elden Ring or whatever, because it's just totally different game. It just creates a different environment for you to be around, to play with, and to interact with stuff. So it's not like the same thing, basically. They reduce the health of the boss, where you just reduce your
Reduce yours?
sorry, reduce your health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reduce your health.
I mean, you can, not fully upgraded it, as we say, and things like
Yeah,
that.
you
And just go in with
go with a
small
crappy
one, yeah.
armor, like
Yeah,
a
it
crappy
depends
weapon.
on you. You have the choice. Go with the crappy weapon, crappy armor. Go naked if you have to. I mean,
Yeah, it's
there are ways to do it.
yeah, you have actually options where in other games it's not gonna be exactly like that. So yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's know what you think, guys. I mean, write us an extensive comments when that becomes a video. And now next topic, actually, we're going to go again to Crimson Desert. So second topic, it's again about Crimson Desert, but it's a different one. So there's a AI art discovered in the game somewhere.
Ooh.
And it was this picture of horses and asses of the horse getting into people's faces and asses. And it's ridiculous. So a lot of people just hate that. And we think that it doesn't freaking matter.
No.
We are never gonna see it.
No.
They still have a great response that we're gonna read. But the point is that in general, we don't care at all, because the whole game is crafted by people, and the fact that here and there in a painting somewhere there's a thing that eventually is gonna be replaced with a real art or whatever, that's okay. That's fine.
I mean,
Stuff like that happen.
I'm not going to push my face into the screen looking at the paintings that I have in my house in the game and things.
Yeah.
I never cared about.
It's a placeholder.
It's a placeholder. Yeah.
Again, I'm never gonna see it.
No.
I'm never gonna see it. Most importantly is what's actually handmade by people, and they did that. They handmade the whole game.
Yeah.
That one picture, 2 pictures, 3 pictures on the wall is not gonna change
People
anything.
just gotta stop with antagonizing that AI so much. I mean, it's just a picture there. Even if it was not AI, again, it could have been done, so pixelated or anything, so that you don't see. There is a picture there in the wall, and that's it.
How many times we saw a picture in the game that looked horrible and pixelated? Like many times.
Exactly.
The developers didn't even bother to fix it.
No.
And these developers do bother to fix it.
Yeah.
And if AI was invented like 10, 15 years ago in the manner that it is now, we are going to have that all the time.
Yeah.
And everybody will be like, oh, great.
Right.
Copy paste
Yeah.
something.
Exactly.
That's how people are. So we can't pretend to be so, so offended by this, where how the game is matters a lot more, and how much of that is made by real people, and 100% is made by real people, and just one tiny 0.0% is made by AI, and again, they're gonna fix it. So, Tsunami, read it.
From Crimson Desert, the official Twitter, we would like to address questions regarding the use of AI in Crimson Desert. During development, some 2D visual props were created as part of early stage iteration using experimental AI generative tools. These assets helped us rapidly explore tone and atmosphere in the earlier phases of production. However, our intention has always been for any such assets to be replaced, following final work and review by our art and development teams, with work that aligned with our quality standards and creative direction. Following reports from our community, we have identified that some of these assets were unintentionally included in the final release. This is not in line with our internal standards, and we take full responsibility for it. We also acknowledge that we should have clearly disclosed our use of AI. While these tools were primarily used during early production, with the expectation that these assets would be replaced prior to release, we recognize that this does not excuse the lack of transparency. We sincerely apologize for these oversights. We are currently conducting a comprehensive audit of all in-game assets and are taking steps to replace any affected content. Updated assets will be rolled out in upcoming patches. In parallel, we are reviewing and strengthening our internal processes to ensure greater transparency and consistency in how we communicate with players moving forwards. Amazing.
Amazing, but still, Smash says literally nothing to apologize for. I don't see studios apologizing every time an asset is reused in the game. And I agree with Smash.
Absolutely.
I just agree with
This
Smash.
is also like, companies who make action figures. How many times do they use a mold for one action figures? Hundreds of times.
Yeah.
With different paint, with different things. Some people say, well, it's not a different figure. You still buy it. You still buy it. So if they have to apologize for a small picture like that, really, compared to what they created, this gigantic map and all the adventures
It's
that you
been
have there and all the
3
options.
days.
Yeah.
3 days, and they're already
Yeah.
apologizing. The
Yeah.
professionalism of this statement coming out and doing this instead of being like,
Yeah.
it's our game, and yeah.
Meanwhile, ex-voto developers are, shutting
I
up
knew where you were going.
forever.
Yep. Hmm.
And
I
saying
knew
nothing.
exactly where you were gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, where else should we go?
Yeah, comparison is here. It's right in
Yeah.
front of us. Yeah, they show how you shouldn't behave. I mean, I agree with them that they're very, like, they have a tact and everything about this.
Absolutely.
That's great. But it's kind of sad that the standard have become to freaking apologize and, hide your tail.
Apologize to the Queen Johnny,
Yeah,
apparently. I mean, we used AI tools for our background. Why should they? And remember that guy that we saw in the video who says, "Well, I for one care about that, and I think they should have hired a real artist to draw that. You just pay him anyway." What? You freaking mad or anything? Just for a small picture there that you can literally replace later on in the game in your house. I mean, when you get inside the house that you built, are you going to spend time watching that?
I don't even want to build the house.
Right?
I am annoyed by such mechanics. I don't want
think
to do it.
I have to ask my son, but I think that in
Zelda.
Zelda, but which one was it? Tears of the Kingdom. You build a house. I think you put some pictures there. He never looks at them.
Of course, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
It's not your real house.
It's not your real
it's a freaking
house.
tool in the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know how they look like in that game, but who cares?
Yeah.
Indeed.
And J Viper also says zero problem with using AI tools to make tiny background art. The only people who care don't actually care. Yeah, or they're conditioned to care, basically, because of today's mindset. As I said, the sad part is that this is the status quo, that we should be outraged about tiny little things like that, yeah. Instead of looking at the whole picture at what really, really matters.
I read a comment once about a Bulgarian who said that there was again about discussion of AI, and he said, I tried that experiment. I made a party with AI music, but not telling that it was AI music. He said people enjoy the heck out of it. And when I told them it was AI music, they were kind of like, then, huh? As if they're thinking, oh, wait a minute.
Now they're offended.
So it wasn't done by a man. It was still done by a man. That man who made the music.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I mean,
there?
It's not the same. It's not the same. We shouldn't pretend it's the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But the point is that we have to have some kind of a balance.
Yeah.
I prefer the whole game to be, made by humans,
of course,
and not by AI. The point is that the emotional reaction that people have, it's over the top, and it doesn't make it right. When something is so extreme, it loses the objectivity and the whole picture, and it just outrages bitches and moans, but it doesn't take everything into account. So the truth is in the middle, as usual.
Indeed.
I mean, we shouldn't be crazy outrage. We should want the game to be authentic as much as possible and not have AI. But at the same time, they put AI where it doesn't matter at all. So, and they do plan to fix it, and they're very polite, like you see here. So, always good. I would never go complain to them about such thing, because I understand the building of the game process, and now you can have placeholders that you can later replace, and they will, and it's okay. But having such a big, huge reaction emotionally doesn't speak very well for us as a society. It just makes us look like crying freaking babies that that should complain, and definitely have to complain about the things that we don't like, but not in that crazy manner. That's just very immature.
Exactly. We
just complain, say your words, but not be like completely out of rage and going out of your mind to throw things around in your head
You should
almost.
complain that when, as a consumer, the product does something that is against you, which we're going to see later on.
Yeah.
But
But again, their
you know,
attitude is what matters, that they care about their audience and they care about what people think. But they do have to cater to the outraged people because that's how we become as a society. So that's the sad part. Tsunami, finishing thoughts about this?
Yeah, you know, I could go outside and I could be an artist and take a fucking set of scissors and go and fucking cut my lawn down with scissors. And look at me, I'm an artist. Then use the fucking lawnmower. It makes sense. They're just trying to go ahead and speed through fucking crap that no one cares about. This faux outrage, because this is the hot thing to do right now and shit on AI, it's a tool. They're using it as a tool. They got caught. They could have been fucking schmarmy and nasty about it. Instead, they're like, hey, we're really sorry. We're trying to make fixes. It's been 3 days. Yet these are the same people that are like whining about this crap that will buy Call of Duty, whatever the fuck, every year, year after year, and whatever 2K nonsense. They will fucking fork over money for fucking broken shit and have no fucking issue with it. Everyone's like, why aren't you perfect? You're $70. Yeah, so is that other slop that you fucking buy, but you don't give them shit about it. And the reason why, because you know they don't care and they won't respond to you. At the very least, this company is taking the time to go ahead and, in my opinion, in a very professional manner, say, hey, we're listening to what you're saying and we're trying to make fixes on the spot. That goes a long way with me. That makes me loyal to the company, not just to the game itself. And so I think they're doing brilliant stuff here. Fuck this AI nonsense.
Absolutely. It
yes.
shows that they have integrity, and that's what we need today.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We don't need to slap them in the face. They're just trying their best, and they're proving that. Okay, so guys, let's know what you think about this in the topic. It's a very interesting discussion. And now we are getting finally to Warhammer 40k and the big fat scandal that is brewing there. So give me a moment here. There's a lot. For the past, okay, I'm gonna start when I'm ready actually. So give me a moment here. Everything starts. Oh, that's by the way, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like if it was me and you replace me with this.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, okay. But as I said, if I am played in a movie someday, I will play by a black person. So we all know that. If woke doesn't die until then.
Oh boy. Let's hope.
Okay, guys. Focus. So, last week we covered a super amazing trailer released by GW. It's going to be an animation about the return of the amazing old Bale Eye, Commissar Yarek, fighting the orcs on Armageddon. But there was just one tiny problem that everybody noticed, and that is that in this trailer, instead of having the Steel Legion, which is directly connected to the whole history of the planet and Commissar Yarek himself, GW chose to put there Dead Corpse of Krieg. And now we have an issue because the Steel Legion is actually a legion that it comes before Dead Corpse of Krieg, and Dead Corpse of Krieg were created as a coloring scheme from the Steel Legion. So they're different. They're both are different. They have different origin, a different way to fight. Actually, as you can see here in this picture, they also have gas mask to protect from hazardous environments. But they have, different set of tools and how they look like. Everything's different about them actually. Their tactics are different, how they fight. Everything is different about them. They're not the same. They may look very similar, but they're not the same. So basically GW released this video and said, well, painting Dead Corpse in Steel Legion colors. So basically reducing the whole Steel Legion, their history, what makes them them, reducing them to reducing them to just colors. Are you kidding me? Their gear is not the same. They're not the same. They're literally not the same. They're not the same physically, mentally, in any capacity. They're different
by that logic, why shouldn't we just buy Ultramarines and buy them and cover them the as I don't know, blood angels, I think.
Yeah.
So. Jesus Christ.
They're different. So the amount of laziness that we have here is insane,
Yeah.
because Steel Legion is iconic to Warhammer 40k. It's absolutely iconic. People love them to death. They've been around for much longer than Dead Corps of Creek. And, granted, Dead Corps of Creek are great and badass in their own freaking ways. But that's just
way,
it.
Yeah.
The fundamental differences between the two are important. This is what builds lore. This is what builds fandom. This is what builds how you perceive the whole world and the different factions, whatever it is. So now let's start with this post of Chainsword. So he is replying to this first by Spring Nebraskan, who says it's a wild take calling the Steel Legion a climb Shito faction. I think they actually predate the Dead Corps in GW's catalog, as they used to have metal minis. Yeah, they not only predate, but yeah, they predate. And Chainsaw says, for the woke, Steel Legion is considered problematic because it represents Nazis, simply because Arbiter Ian said so in a YouTube video. And yeah, we covered Arbiter Ian before when we had that awesome collaboration with Pontius, because he has a whole series about this guy, Arbiter Ian, who really leans left. So the lens in which he projects, through which he projects Warhammer, could be warped because of this, and it is. So that's another problem. Then Chainsword replies to this comment: just paint your fucking Creek models yellow. It's so funny seeing the 10th edition fans complain that every club Shito faction doesn't have representation. Pick up your spruce. What is that? Spruce. Kid Bash, paint them a different color. Well, that's a huge freaking disrespect.
Absolutely. I mean, it's as if Hasbro putting out a Spider-Man figure and you want one with the black suit, and they tell you, just paint it black yourself. What? What's... Don't you have any respect to the people who actually buy your product and who respect the lore and all the fans?
Anything Warhammer.
Anything Warhammer, yeah.
And besides, usually woke stupid shitbags, they're the ones that want representation.
Yeah.
But the wrong representation.
But the wrong one, yeah.
They want something that doesn't exist. Or it already exists, but it's not enough. They want more of it, or to be twisted and turned into their own freaking vision. And now that we actually want something that is super close to the mind, like we say here, it is something that is inherently a part of freaking Commissar Yarek. It's his freaking guys. Those are his freaking guys. You remove them and replace them with Dead Corps of Creek. Are you freaking kidding me?
And they made a whole video about it, explaining you how you should do it, why you should do it. I mean, the audacity of that.
Yeah, that's a freaking middle finger
absolutely.
To everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chainsaw says, tourists don't know that Craig started as an alternative paint scheme for Steel Legion minis. Steel Legion is more OG than Craig, yet people like him who who joined during woke infestation have no idea about it, and they dare speak.
And they dare speak.
And they dare speak.
You literally become a fan yesterday.
Yeah. And Chainsaw says, and Chainsaw, by the way, guys, of course, I'm working with him. He's the guy that reads the books. He finds the bullshit and he brings it up so we can see it, a display for the whole world to see. So he says, and yeah, he's been there since the very beginning of 40k. So he is older than us. And he has been there since the very freaking beginning. He's the OG guy who knows 40k like the palm of his hand. So he says, once again, GW proves they have no idea what players want. They expect people to just buy their latest Craig minis and paint them yellow, or maybe paint them green so you can have Katachans, or paint Cadians red so you can have
Vostorians.
Yeah, Vostorians. Who needs different scopes anyway? Oh, wait. Walks need female miniatures. Oh, but we can totally pay attention to that,
what
right?
It is? We are saving on plastic for that.
Yeah, for boobs that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Why did GW not just say you can kit bash female custodians instead of making specific scopes? Because the wokes would be mad. Who cares about long-time fans? Fuck them. Why have variety when you can just reuse the latest cat designs with mirrored poses so the designs can save money? Just paint your ultramarines red and your, well, you see,
Yeah.
and your Kriegers yellow so they can cut costs on sculpting and focus on pushing the latest political agenda to milk tourists. Next edition, one set of rules for every chapter and every regiment, so the rules writers will not have to work so hard. Just paint your ultramarines red and use their rules. Who cares if you want Blood Angels? Variety is for wokes, not for you. Yeah, so
Indeed.
absolutely disgusting, basically. Before we continue, Tsunami, do you have anything to add actually?
I mean,
Don't be nice.
this is another Well, yeah, I was trying to think. I'm like, this is another company that is literally like hates money for whatever reason. Like, people are gonna buy this shit. There's a massive fan base for Steel Legion and for the Krieg Corps also. It's both. Why not create both? People are gonna want to buy them. But instead, just like he said, they had a lot of time to go ahead and put fucking female fucking custodies and make that bullshit, and they want to fucking tout their wins about that kind of crap. And then this bullshit, the worst part is the video. The video is like the worst thing ever because people were trying to give GW like credit and be like, maybe they're fucking with us and they're gonna release something later. Nope. They're like, here's a video on how you could paint your fucking Krieg's fucking corpsmen so they could be Steel Legion now. Congratulations. There you go. And I saw another really funny like comment. And it's literally like GW managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You had the trailer come out. Everyone, like, I was freaking out on stream about fucking seeing Commissar Yarick, the old man, fucking coming back. The only human being that orcs actually respect. And I was so fucking hyped, and then this shit came out. And it's like, what the fuck, GW? Why can't you? Don't you want to make money? People buy this shit all the time. So I don't know. I think Chainsword is way more eloquent about this than I am. As a filthy casual and as not an army purchaser, so I'm making all the claims right off the bat. Why are you doing this? People want to do this. This is their hobby. They love doing this. They want to go ahead, get the armies that they like, respect those people that they like, and this is such a just like bullshit lazy move.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's absolutely
Indeed.
disgusting. It's a middle finger. It's a middle finger
It's not the
to
one, yeah.
everybody, and it's like such casually done. It's like nothing, nothing. The
Yeah.
whole freaking history, it's nothing to them. That's how it feels. There's some comments here, but we don't have that much of a time. Oh, by the way, somebody did this. The custodies, how they used to look. That's amazing. Also, they have zero freaking clue on good PR. Every social media person nowadays is full of hate and empathy to only themselves. All they had to say was, we are watching Steel Legion with great interest and looking at proceeding with them in the future, along with Yarrick release. But no, we get fucking fem studies that nobody wants first. And Chainsaw says, either their PR team is retarded or just malicious or both. And this guy,
Yes.
Craving Knight, says Fabulous Custodies are more canon than female ones. Yeah, and because this is the old variant, so basically this is not canon anymore. But it's so beautiful though. And now we proceed to this post, which comes from Chapter Master Valak, who people think that he's a Games Workshop kiss ass. But he claims that he's banned in their list. He's in the blacklist. So this actually came out from GW. This thing. Tsunami, can you read that? You gotta take it from here.
Hang on one second. Got it. A few of you have been commenting already, asking about the Armageddon Steel Legion. Armageddon has been at war for generations now, and the world's original Steel Legion defenders have been worn down to a fraction of their original strength. There are still plenty of them though they now represent just a fraction of the expansive Astra Militarum forces deployed across the world, supplemented by regiments from every corner of the Imperium. Fun fact, the first appearance of the Death Corps of Krieg was actually on Armageddon. in Codex Armageddon, released in 2000. They were shown as an alternate color scheme for the Steel Legion.
Okay. So they actually are telling us what it is, but they're saying that there are not enough of them.
Apparently.
Really.
Yeah.
And how about the freaking Cadians that have their own planet destroyed and they're still here? Their whole planet is just a piece of rock now flowing into space.
Yeah.
And they're
But they're
still freaking
here.
Cadians running around and fighting for the Imperium. And, well, whatever actually Master Varrock says, he says, Cadians on the Armageddon, their planet fucking exploded. What do you mean we only have a fraction of Steel Legion left? You have to laugh at this, at this shite, yes. And Chainsword agrees. He says, I never thought I'd repost something Varrock said, but I agree this is bullshit. Yeah. And then he says, Armageddon, now according to GW, is Cadia stand. Oh, it's amazing. And Chainsword also says, since the creation of Steel Legion, they have always been correct. Painted yellow. GW community.
That will be the next thing, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is about this topic, guys. I just, you know, GW just keeps on giving in the departments of total disappointment and the audacity of not respecting their own lore, what made them big as they are today, and respecting the original fans, and what makes actually Warhammer unique. So this is super sad, and it's very, very insulting. That's what it is.
Absolutely insulting, yeah.
Tsunami, anything to add?
Yeah, where's the yellow? Why is he wearing brown or khaki? Like, the painting, I watched the fucking, I wasted my time watching the video, and literally it comes out and the guy is wearing essentially just like a light brown or a khaki. It's not yellow. It's not the distinctive color of Steel Legion. Like, Steel Legion, like they're wearing those I understand that people are like, what the fuck is Warhammer right now? It's worth looking up because it's pretty cool. But these guys basically have to wear gas masks all the time because their world's so fucking toxic. And they wear these bright fucking yellow, well, not super bright, but like a low muted yellow. And they even fucking made their battle standard covered in like non-corrosive fucking like substances so that they could take their battle standards into combat with them. This character that we're talking about, this Commissar Yurik, like basically he got told to go fuck himself and like he's on his own and he's like, okay, no fucking problem. And then he made these guys into the absolute fucking menace that they are, like absolute badasses, super disciplined, super amazing, and now it's like they're like Kriegsmen, or you could paint them whatever color. So I really see the arguments going every which direction with this, but I can't even believe they wouldn't even like didn't even pick the right color scheme for this model. And I was comparing it because I'm like, I never really looked at the art of this too. I started like doing art Kriegsmen versus Steel Legion, and there's like glaring differences in the helmet, the mask itself, or the helmet mask combination. So yeah, I'm just not sure what's going on here. Other than like, it feels like a lot of times the people at GW are like, "Hey, how can we fuck with the chuds today?" That's all it feels like they're doing.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
It's retarded.
It feels exactly like that.
It's just being retarded, and that's it, really. I mean, it's like GW have an autism or something.
Maybe everybody's like that now there.
Also, yeah, Marshall Bohemian said also khaki colors here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, guys, let us know what you think in the comments about this. Now, how much time do we have? We don't have a lot of time at all.
Not much. Yeah.
Do we have 5 minutes?
Go 5, yeah. If it's only 5, we could do it for 5.
Oh, this is gonna be a long topic. I rather leave it for another stream.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's really tight. It's really tight today, guys. So we're gonna leave the stories, but we're doing it.
Oh yeah.
We're doing it this week. Like it's either tonight or it's the tomorrow, but we're doing it. Okay, Tsunami and everybody, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and see you later this evening, guys. Tsunami.
See ya, chat.
Yes.
Bye.
See ya, chat. Love you guys. Bye bye.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes. With faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires. But with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars in time.